Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well on this bizarre evening. Bizarre but yet so familiar, isn't it? I cannot believe what we've watched. The Uefa Super Cup has come and gone. And despite me going to sing a lot of praises for Tottenham Hotspur, a lot of praise, they've got nothing to show for it. Because Spurs have bottled it again. Typical Spurs. Spursy. The history of the Tottenham. We're going to get into all of it. Because this tonight has just... You couldn't have written... Actually, no, you know what? Let me take it back. You could have written it. You absolutely could have written it. You could have written it perfectly, to be honest, to the T. And I'll explain why in a sec. But to let you know, no videos earlier on. This is the only one today. Tomorrow there will be a double upload. Make sure you guys are here. The news is following this, so make sure you stay till the end. Because after I talk about the game, I'm going to talk about the latest. So make sure you stay. Let's kick off with this final. PSG versus Tottenham in the UEFA Super Cup. I got to be honest, I came into this game anticipating a funeral for Tottenham Hotspur, right? An absolute funeral. I thought PSG would turn them over inside out, especially after what happened to them in the Club World Cup final. I thought PSG would come out and want revenge. I thought PSG would come out and want flipping violence, you know, in chaos and just, you know, guns blazing everywhere. And we didn't get that. We didn't get that. In fact, what we got for 85 minutes was Tottenham following the blueprint. Chelsea have given the world the blueprint on how to beat PSG. And for 85 minutes, I was looking and going, you know what? Tottenham have absolutely played this to perfection. Thomas Frank has set up Tottenham beautifully for the entire game. Right? They went up 1-0 and then they went up 2-0 and PSG couldn't find an answer. And Tottenham weren't defending. They were defending, but they weren't just sitting back and just kick the ball away and do nothing, except at the end. I'm coming to that. But they were playing according to the blueprint. Now, to the world, yeah? I don't say this for myself. I say this on behalf of Chelsea as a whole. You're welcome. You're welcome. We've given you a blueprint on how to beat PSG. Follow it and it's 100% success rate. Tottenham are like that kid in an exam who's revised, who started the exam well, but has forgot the time limit. And it gets to the end and they realise they've still got maybe about a quarter of the paper left, and they've looked and they've gone, oh crap, we've got 10 minutes. Where's the time gone? Oh crap, I'm just going to have to start writing things. And then they just flip and scribble. And it's just get the exam done, just finish it. I mean, it was perfection up until 75%, and now it's just like, just get it done. That is what happened with Tottenham. Because as soon as Tottenham conceded, right? Soon as they conceded, they switched the game plan, and they shouldn't have. That's where they lost the game. You can't park and sit back against Tottenham. You can't. I'm sorry, against PSG. No, you can against Tottenham. Don't get me wrong. Against PSG, you can't. You can't. Why do you think after Chelsea went 1-0 up, we went to 2-0 up? And after we went to 2-0 up, we went to 3-0 up. And after we went to 3-0 up, we wanted more and we didn't stop. Why do you think we didn't just sit back and protect the lead? We didn't. Because if you do that, you give PSG chances. And if you give PSG chances, they're going to score. Tottenham had that nailed down for 85 minutes. I don't understand. It was beautiful. I say beautiful, I'm talking in the context of Tottenham, not for me. I wanted Tottenham to lose. But you get the gist. With the way that Thomas Frank had them set up and the way that the players were executing it, I thought it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Even the goals. The first goal, you know, off the bar, lands, Van de Ven taps it in, beautiful setup overall, to be honest. I mean, to get into that position in the first place against PSG as Tottenham was a surprise. That was me going, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. So they've actually scored. And then later on, the second goal, I mean, it's a beautiful cross in. It's a beautifully cushioned header by Romero. To be fair, Cavalier should be saving that. If it was Donnarumma, I think he would have saved it. But you know, Donnarumma's gone now. Chevalier should have saved that. Didn't. Went in 2-0. But it was a nicely finished header. To be honest, he had the right idea and he put it into the far side of the net. 2-0. And at that point, Tottenham look all good. And to be fair, Tottenham, even at 2-0, didn't just sit back. They were still playing. To an extent, it was kind of like 50-50, kind of like, okay, defend, but let's still press. Let's still push up. Let's still take the game to PSG. Let's put them under a bit of pressure and let's not give them space. But they had one occasion. One occasion landed to their laps and they finished it. And this is where Tottenham blew it. Because as soon as they conceded, they panicked. Tottenham panicked and Thomas Frank instructed them, everyone get behind the ball. And everyone behind the ball, everyone just defend now. And that's where they lose. They lost the game. That is where they lost the game. If Tottenham had just kept their shape, I don't think PSG would have scored again. I mean, you'd think, but the momentum was on their side. But if you just keep pressing and taking the game to PSG, you don't give them the space and you keep them in their half, they're null and void. This is what Chelsea did. And Tottenham were doing that up until when they conceded. And then they decided to want to park the bus, park the plane, play full-on Jose Mourinho football. And people underrate just how difficult that actually is to do when you haven't got the personnel for it. Now, to be fair, Tottenham defended really, really beautifully tonight up until minute 85. This is what I'm saying. And then they let it go. Beautifully driven cross into the box. It's a header. It's gone into the far corner. Dembele 2-2. And then penalties. And then they blew it. It's some horrible penalties as well, by the way. Tottenham absolutely threw this away. Yeah, it was in their hands. It was in their hands and they threw it away. They absolutely bottled it. So today, this is why I say you could have written it. You could have written it as PSG were expected to win. Tottenham have come with a new manager and some new players and it's a new system and the blueprint is there to beat PSG. Tottenham executed the blueprint but then bottled it because it's Tottenham. And then PSG get the win even though they played poor and they didn't deserve to win, but they got the win because Tottenham blew it and they bottled it because that's the history of the Tottenham. Do you see how typical that sounds? That's basically why it was actually very easy to write. When you think about it, yes, it could have been written. It actually could have been written. This was the script. This could not have gone more to the script. It's typical Spurs. No matter if they change their manager, if they get an entire new squad, the history of the Tottenham is the history of the Tottenham, and this is how they bottle it. When it was in their hands and they'd done everything possible to beat a team like PSG, just like we showed you with the blueprint, and you still threw it away. Typical Spurs. Absolutely typical Spurs. I'm going to give... No, you know what? I was going to give so much credit to Thomas Frank. I thought Thomas Frank set them up beautifully. But then he's the one who told them to just sit back. He blew it. He absolutely blew it. This is what happens when you are in the vicinity of the Tottenham. You become serial bottler. Except for maybe Big Ange, but even then he finished 17th. So I understand he won the trophy, but it's kind of like 50-50. It's Tottenham. Tottenham can't do anything straightforward. Yeah, it's Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? So unlucky. Congrats PSG. And I guess beating PSG isn't for everyone. Just saying. Arsenal fans were going to throw themselves off a bridge tonight, but I think they might have survived it. Yeah, because Tottenham have bottled it and Arsenal just going, don't laugh too loud, because at least they played the Super Cup final. You know what I mean? At least. And it was in their hands, but it's Tottenham, so, it's typical. But let me know your thoughts down below on that game. Congrats, PSG. PSG are broken though. Let me tell you that now. PSG are broken, and that's Chelsea's job. That's Chelsea's doing. We've broken them. We've absolutely shattered them. We have shown everyone how to beat them, and it just depends on whether you have what it takes to beat them. You just execute the plan. Tottenham didn't execute it in the end, but if you just execute the plan, you'll beat them. The blueprint is there for anyone who wants to beat PSG, by the way, just saying. Anyway, let's move to the news. Let me know your thoughts on that game. The latest with Nico Jackson. The prospect of signing Jackson divided Newcastle's recruitment team just a few weeks ago, but that stance appears to have softened. He is emerging as one of the leading candidates to replace Isak should Liverpool make the move. Get on the phone. Get on the phone, lads. Get on the phone. Like I've said before, Isak is definitely heading off to Liverpool. There's no world that I reckon he stays at Newcastle. And it's just a matter of when, not a matter of if, and it's a matter of the money and whether Newcastle will accept a certain figure. That is it. But Isak moves, surely. And as soon as that is actually on the way to happening, I think Jackson to Newcastle is clear to go ahead. So Newcastle, you know what to do. You listen, you need a striker. You don't have options. Get on the phone. Let's talk. So that's Jackson. Looking like, and to be honest, Jackson wants Newcastle as well. We've already heard this. We know this is public info. We already know Jackson wants the tune. So what better fit? Get it done. Nkunku, in terms of the latest with him, is this. So Inter have now also expressed interest in signing Christopher Nkunku. However, Inter's priority remains Ademola Lookman. A total verbal agreement on a long-term contract is 100% in place, and Lookman wants Inter, but the deal is not yet in the final stages. Inter, Bayern, Leipzig and others, Nkunku is one to watch until deadline day. So Inter have expressed interest, but they're looking like they're going to get Lookman. How is this one going to work for Nkunku? Who else is there? I mean, like we said, Leipzig, Bayern. Leipzig, I don't think have the facilities for it. Bayern Munich, perhaps. And we might have got a sign of that today. And I'll show you what it is. Here it is. This could pave the way for Nkunku to Bayern Munich. So, breaking from Florian Plettenberg as well. FC Bayern today submitted a new offer for Nick Woltermaid, proposing 60 million euros plus bonus payments in the sell-on clause. Stuttgart rejected it, even though the players' camp believed the package would be sufficient. Stuttgart demanded 75 million euros from Bayern today, something Bayern will not do. Well, Bayern Munich... Okay, we're not asking for 75 million euros, yeah? What did you offer? 60? Just send that over. You can get Nkunku. Done. Done. We won't hesitate. We won't hesitate. Well, maybe a little bit. We'll talk about add-ons. But, you know, we don't look too desperate. But, you know what I mean? Nkunku's there. You won't have to pay as much money. You get a top player, and then you can forget Nick Woltermaid, man. Let him stay at Stuttgart. You know, so Bayern Munich, same message applies to you lot. Get on the blower and let's talk. Anyway, this could actually pave the way. I don't see Bayern Munich going back in to Stuttgart for 75 million euros for Nick Woltermaid. I mean, surely not. Surely they're not going to splash that on Woltermaid. Do you know what I mean? Nkunku, we already know that they really admire the player. That's something that can get done. Let's hope it happens. So Bayern Munich, if it's not going to be Inter, if it's not going to be Leipzig, Bayern Munich, the coast is clear. But, you know, time's ticking. Hurry up. Hurry up, because we're trying to get Nkunku out the door, and same with Jackson, so then we can get this geezer through the door. So I'm told the situation with Xavi Simons is not changing. Chelsea are working on the deal, but there is still no agreement. I can guarantee they are still negotiating for Simons, but have not agreed. So let's see what's going to happen, says Fabrizio. At this point, just stop giving updates. Please. Like I've said before, anything you hear up until this point is void. It's null and void. We know the we know the story. We know the score. The score is Jackson or Nkunku must depart. Up until that happens, nothing's going to move. But those players will depart. It's a matter of when. But as soon as that goes through, that starts the cycle. Simons to Chelsea, Harvey Elliott to Leipzig, it starts the domino effect. We just need one of the players gone. So this is what I'm saying. Newcastle, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, flipping all the clubs. Get on the blower. Let's talk. Flipping, hurry up. Let's move. Let's move. We've got a season to start. Let's move. We are, look, I hope we can get this. I don't want to wait till deadline day. Games are going to kick off. I want this now to get done ASAP. It will get done, but I don't want it at the end. I want it now. You know, so Jackson and Nkunku, one of them needs to leave. One of them needs to leave ASAP. That way we can get Xavi Simons through the door, and then Garnacho will follow as well. So let me know your thoughts on that one. But like I've said before, no need to panic. No need to just, any update you hear, like I've said, is pointless up until one of those players depart. As long as those players don't depart yet, the story remains the same. So Fabrizio's giving these updates just you know, social media, innit? Let's talk about another player, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund made an approach to consider a possible bid for Renato Vega, but still deemed it too expensive. His future remains open as several clubs keep moving for him. Listen, Borussia Dortmund, just stop. Just stop. Yeah, just stop. You're the one club. You're the one club that wants to get quality without paying money. Yeah? You lot are the poor guy that wants to play the rich. Just don't. If you don't have enough to afford, then stay within your range. Do you know what I mean? If you can't afford to shop at Waitrose, then keep shopping at Aldi. Do you know what I mean? I say that respectfully, obviously, because everyone has their own choice of shop. I like Aldi. I like Lidl, to be honest. It's quality. But I'm saying, you don't go to the place that's got just full organic when you ain't got the facilities for that. If you're not prepared to go and pay 5 or 6 quid for a pint of milk that's fully straight from the cow, and you have to go and resort for, you know, just standard 60p a pint, or how much is a pint now? I mean, 2 pints is like £1.60 now. I mean, the price has gone crazy. Or is it £1.85? Anyway, I'm losing track, but you get the gist. Stay within your means. Stay within your means. Yeah. If you can't afford to shop in a certain range, don't bother. So Dortmund, stay in your lane, and let's not talk anymore. Yeah. You lot can't afford our guys. Simple as that. As simple as that. Everyone's expensive to you. And just don't buy. Just go to your academy and just start promoting players. As simple as that. That's my message to Dortmund. Flipping now. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one. Let's move to something Chelsea have done today for the players that went to the Club World Cup and beat PSG. Yes, Tottenham, are you listening? Beat PSG. Pay attention. This is how you do it. Chelsea have allocated a fund of £11.4 million to be distributed equally between the players who represented Enzo Maresca's side during the Club World Cup. So, that works out to about, I think, 400 grand each. Huge congrats to the players. They deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. An extra 400k. Go and buy yourselves an Aston Martin. Standard. Now, that's the latest in terms of Chelsea. Let me know your thoughts. We check out a couple of the other things from elsewhere. Here's the latest from Liverpool. They've got a new player. Giovanni Leoni to Liverpool is a here we go. Deal agreed with Parma for Italian 18-year-old centre-back. No loan, never discussed. Leoni joins Liverpool now as part of Arne Slot's plans. Fee around €35 million with a sell-on clause. No convincing ever needed as Leoni wanted Liverpool. So, congrats to him. Joins Liverpool. This is an indicator to the change in personnel in Liverpool's defence. Konate's heading out of the door. It's bound to happen, surely. So, I think now they've got Van Dijk. They're targeting Mark Guehi to come in as well. Leoni is now on his way. They're covered. Konate can leave. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the plan. So we'll see how that one transpires with a little bit more time. We'll wait for Konate to depart if that is going to happen. I think it's going to happen, but Liverpool are going to want to get some money now rather than just, you know, not do anything and then hold him down till he's leaving on a free, because that's what Real Madrid want to do, because it's Real Madrid and that's what they do. So Liverpool have to try and get him sold ASAP. So let's wait and see. But Leoni to Chelsea. The Liverpool is done. Mark Guehi, I believe, will follow, and they'll have a brand new centre-back line alongside Virgil van Dijk. So that is pretty strong, to be honest. That is the sort of business that they needed to do. I feel like in defence they've also got themselves a little bit of depth. Leoni can provide some good depth for them. Young, aspiring, might take the reins later. You know, once Van Dijk steps out of the way, I think it could be Guehi and Leoni. Who knows if Konate does get sold too. So let's see how that one's going to look and how that's going to end up. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on how do you think that Liverpool defence sounds. Is that strong enough for you? Or is it weak? Let me know. Now, elsewhere, Man City. Negotiations between Galatasaray and City regarding Ederson have started. No agreements yet, but super intermediary George Gardy is now involved in trying to get the deal done. A full verbal agreement between Galatasaray and Ederson, along with his agent Julio Cesar, has been in place for weeks. Hang on, Julio Cesar became an agent? What a boss goalkeeper Julio Cesar used to be, man. Boss goalkeeper, what a legend. He's now an agent. Alright, fair enough. Good to hear. He's like, now I'm just gonna go and make money. You know, I was catching balls before, now I'm gonna go and catch pound notes. Simple as that. Big up Julio Cesar as an agent now. But this confirms Donnarumma is a legit target for Man City, and he's gonna be on the way, isn't he? Ederson will depart. There's no way City let Ederson go without getting Donnarumma through the door. They got James Trafford, but Donnarumma, James Trafford is the two they're gonna run with, I think. So Ederson on his way out. And here we were talking about which of Ederson and Ortega are going to leave. Well, it's both. So, that's that. Do you think that's a good move for Manchester City? Donnarumma and Trafford? I think it is. Personally, yes. If you Ederson or Ortega versus Donnarumma and James Trafford, I'm taking Donnarumma and James Trafford. Easily. Because not only are you bringing a fantastic replacement for Ederson and Donnarumma, but you're also bringing in someone that is going to end up becoming the England #1. You're going to end up having a good goalkeeper who was at City before, that has proven himself to an extent, that still needs a bit of development to really get to the top level, and you're getting Donnarumma to compete with him. I mean, that's perfect. So, very good business from Man City, I think, in terms of the goalkeeping department. Let me know your thoughts down below. As we end with Leeds, this is just a shock. I mean, this was just me flipping going, what? When did this happen? How? Here it is. Leeds United reached an agreement in principle to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 28-year-old striker, free agent after Everton contract expired. England international scheduled at Thorpe Arch imminently to do medical before completing Leeds United transfer. I'm surprised he's a free agent. Do you know what I mean? It's Calvert-Lewin. I mean, he's not been good, if I'm honest. And I know he was linked with Man United at one point. That would have been funny. But it's not worked out. And at one point, him at Everton was looking decent. When he joined, it was like, okay, decent, and it just fizzled. It just fizzled out. It was just no one talking about him anymore. And he's left on a free. So Leeds United, can he rejuvenate? Can he bounce himself back up? Well, Leeds might not be the place to do that, if I'm being completely honest. Leeds, I think, are going to go straight back down. They've not done tremendous amounts of business to really get themselves up back into the picture in order to compete with the teams that I think are going to survive next season. I anticipate Leeds to get relegated again, especially with Farke. But I guess Calvert-Lewin is a step in the right direction. They need more, though. He can't do it by himself. No way can he save Leeds alone. No, it's not enough. They need to get maybe 3 or 4 new players. Sunderland have been doing fantastic business. That's a team that's looking to stay up. Do you know what I mean? Leeds need to do the same. They're not. So, yeah, don't expect miracles from Calvert-Lewin, basically. But he's joining Leeds, free agent. We'll see how he does. How do you think he's going to do? Let me know. And I'll catch all of you tomorrow. Subscribe, notification bell on. Let me know your thoughts on the Tottenham PSG Super Cup game and all the rumours and the news as I've presented it to you. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. Look after yourself. See you tomorrow. Take care. And peace.